Hey guys, welcome back to the garage. Today we have a 2020 Ducati Panigale V2. We're gonna install a set of rear sets and some radiator guard. But enough of the chit chat, let's get on it. We're gonna start removing the right side peg, and before we do anything else, you guys need to put together this. Those are Bonamici rear set. They come with the instruction to put them together. They come in a million pieces, but it's not that difficult, and just pay attention to it. Remember to put some light thread lock on it so they don't come apart as you're at the racetrack. After you're done this, because this is the side with the pump, the brake pump on it, let's start taking apart this stuff and see what happens. First, we're gonna remove the heel guard over here. Fairly straightforward. We need a 4mm Allen and just undo it. And at this point, take it off. You would think that you can just remove the whole assembly without having to touch this, but to access everything behind, you gotta either do that or remove the exhaust system. And guess which one it's easier. At this point, it's time to get the pump and undo it. And remove the little piston from inside, like that, and set it aside. Now this one is free to move. Alright, in the best Ducati tradition, there is an hidden screw in the back over here that will let you remove this. We need to remove this so that I can stuff an Allen key back here and remove the bracket altogether. It turns out the one in the back over there, it's 4mm. So grab a 4mm, stuff it in there, open it up. The trick here, as always, is patience. A lot of patience. And here it comes. One bracket, spring. All right, it's time to remove the brake light switch back there, and that's a 7/16 or an 11mm. Once you loosen it up, you can just go by hand and remove it. Here we go. This is out. Now, if you have an elbow like this, or a junction, or whatever this thing is called, put in a 6mm, and it's time to undo it. One's out. Let's see if I can do the bottom without having to remove the world. All right, let's see. Sincerely, easier than I thought. When I did the Panigale Corse, it wasn't this easy. It was a little harder. I mean, they do make the V2 in China, so just kidding. The owner of the V2, which is behind the camera right now, just gave me the stink eye. All right, one is out. I'm gonna clean up this thing and put the new one in. Since those pegs, in theory, they're for racetrack only, they do not come with a place to screw in the sensor for the rear brake light. I'm gonna try to put a nut with a cap that keeps this one pressed down. Since, in theory, you'll never remove the pegs, you should put the red thread lock on. But if you have the orange one it's hard like the red, but it's not permanent, so allows you to remove it, and that's what I'm gonna use. Those pegs are supposed to be torqued at 25.5 Newton meters. Those bolts are a size lower than the OEM. Those are 5. And now I just need to torque it down. And 25. Time to put in the brake cylinder over here, and at the same time put the little prong inside here. Here we go. Now those two up top do not need thread lock because they're self-locking nuts. No, it's a 10. All right. We're gonna leave things loose for now because the peg needs to be adjusted for height and front and back, but just in case we leave it to make sure it works, and it does. We've done everything we can do on this side. Let's go to the other side. All right, on the shift side or left side, what I'm gonna do is remove the heel guard first. You don't have to, especially on this side, you don't have to, but it's easier for me with the cameras and everything. Then I'm gonna undo the lever over here because I gotta get in there. And then I'm gonna remove the bracket and the peg together. So, but first of all, let's start with this down here. So when you do this, hold the lever up and then crank, otherwise you're pushing against the quick shifter. Remove this, let the lever dangle. I need a 6 and a joint and an extension. In there, what I'm gonna do is actually loosen up this one over here. So I'm not gonna remove these all together, but I can move it out of the way to get in there. This is out, put in the trash. Now, save it, you never know. I think I'm gonna have to loosen up the retaining nut. Just loosen it up a bit. What that does, allows me to turn the lever like this. And at this point, I can use an Allen key to undo it.
One eternity later.
It took a while to actually get the shift lever off. Somehow the bolt was jammed, so in the end we ended up cutting it. To put it back on, first thing you need to do is put the shift rod over here on the shift. If you choose the upper part, it's normal shift. If you put it on the lower side, it's reverse shift, which I believe in the V2 you actually have to reprogram the bike or something to actually have the reverse shift work. Classic. But let's put some blue thread lock on and put it on. Now if I was smart, I would have figured out which Allen I need for that, but because I'm not smart, I'm gonna have to do it blind. This is less of a pain than the OEM. At least it seems like it. At this point, I just need to put those two bolts in there, and I'm gonna use some orange thread lock. Time to torque it to 25.5. All right. This is in as well. All right, obviously if you put an aftermarket rear set on your bike, it's because you want to adjust it. So I have the owner of the bike on top of it, and now we're going to adjust the height and back and forth of the peg, and then we're going to adjust the tip of the shifter on this side and of the brake on the other side. Easy, you just move it. There are a bunch of different positions you can put it on. You just undo it, choose the height, and put the bolts back in. Easy peasy, let's get on it. So we just finished installing the Bonamici Racing D1199 rear set. They look fantastic, they look much better than the OEM. The only problem is there is not the space for the sensor for the rear brake light. Not a big deal. As I showed you, you can just rig something together and then find a more permanent solution, but in a pinch the cap for a valve stem will do. Other than that, the installation was pretty much straightforward. It was slightly easier than the Panigale Corse I did a while back. The only thing was the gear rod wouldn't come off, the bolt wouldn't come off. I had to cut it down. It was a pain, but in the end everything fit perfectly and it worked just fine. The reason why the owner of the bike wanted to install the pegs, he goes to the racetrack quite a bit, and on the racetrack the OEM pegs were too low down, and with this one we actually set them up all the way up. With this one he can push on the pegs on the turn much better, and a lot more grip as well on those pegs over here. They're not too expensive. Check down in the description for links. And at this point, thank you very much to my patrons, because without them all of this wouldn't be possible. If you like the video, like. If you love the video, subscribe. Instead of installing the radiator guard, we decided to just go out and ride, so we'll do radiator guards another time. But till then, ride on, and I'll see you next time. Hey guys, this is not gonna look either good or sound good at all. It's just a quick update. I ended up put it on the radiator guards. It was 5 minutes, 2 screws for each. Too easy to explain on a video, not worth it. So we're gonna go ride. See you next time. So we installed the fucking A. So we installed the Bonamici.
D1199.
So we installed the... Yeah.
Oh, D1199 is not like...
I used to do that.
Shh.
Pensa a una cosa triste.
Un paio di palle, una cosa triste. So we... Perché... Non mi fate ridere, mannaggia la puttana.